Hi everyone, welcome to a brand new Saturday. It's a beautiful LA morning. We're finally starting to get a nice cool breeze and a little bit of weather. And I tell you, I'm on cloud nine because I know you probably saw my vlog from Wednesday where the Houston Astros, for the first time in their 56 some odd years of franchise history, they have never won the World Series. And I know I'm in LA and I'm supposed to be a convert to the Dodgers and the Angels, but I'm not. I'm Houston strong, I'm Houston proud, and I'm really proud of my baseball team. But don't worry, I'm not going to talk about sports. I know this isn't a sports channel. This is a pop culture where we talk about news and entertainment and comic books and with a little hint of politics here and there. But anyway, be sure to hit subscribe and ring the little bell so you get notifications for when I do live shows. I'm going to start doing one live show a month at the end of every month, and I'm going to try to get a special guest. But for today, I'm going to kick it off with some comic book reviews, and I know I'm a little behind because I did the Halloween special, but I still want to go forward and I want to showcase some really cool stuff that's been coming out from DC Comics. And listen, if you're an independent comic book maker and you want to send me your stuff to review, hey, I have my contacts information is in the About page, so send me your stuff. I would love to read what you're doing. Now, without further ado, sit back, relax, and welcome to Studio Jake. Okay, today I'm mainly going to be talking about Dark Knight's Metal by Scott Snyder. He's kind of doing this whole thing for DC Comics. That being said, I wanted to conclude my reviews of the War of Jokes and Riddles. And I know Batman's already started a new one. I know I'm a couple of issues behind, but again, that's because of everything that's going on with the World Series and Halloween and everything. Don't worry, I will get to that. But 31 and 32 of Batman Rebirth, they've got the conclusion of the War of Jokes and Riddles. Now, this story takes place after Batman has proposed to Catwoman because he sees her as the only woman he's ever loved and who loves him as Batman. She doesn't want him to change. She wants him to stay Batman. So he's telling her the story because it is one of the darkest ones of his career. Now, both of these, Tom King, a few people aren't happy with how he's telling these early Batman Day stories, but I'm actually enjoying the War of Jokes and Riddles. It's one of the most original Batman stories I've read. It's a good way to bring them all together. So I'm sorry this is going to be a little bit of a spoiler, but basically what happens in this issue is Batman decides the Joker is more dangerous than the Riddler. So Batman decides to work with Team Riddler to infiltrate the Joker's hideout, and he works with and this is, like I said, this is a flashback. So Catwoman's involved, and you can see she's in her classic purple suit with her long hair, and the Joker's not happy with her for infiltrating. But I love this particular page where she's scaling the building. That's a really great panel there. But anyway, this is really good. So again, I apologize for the spoiler, but basically Riddler and Batman work together and they infiltrate the Joker's hideout. And of course, the Joker obviously isn't too happy about this. And one of the key odd things about this storyline is the Joker isn't able to laugh. He's lost his sense of humor, which has actually made him more dangerous. So we move on to issue 32, which is the conclusion, and you can kind of see Batman, you can see Joker and the Riddler, and they're looking down, and Batman has blood on his hands. What could this mean? Well, I don't want to give away the ending, but he's continuing to tell the story, and it starts off, the Riddler is about to kill the Joker, and of course Batman being Batman wants to stop him. So then like this three-way fight breaks out. It's kind of reminiscent of Pirates of the Caribbean, the second one, where it's Will, Jack Sparrow, and then Norrington, and they're all fighting on that like pinwheel thing. It's kind of reminiscent of that. They're sparring, but like I said, this conclusion, I honestly didn't know what to expect, but I was pleasantly surprised. He concluded the story in a very strange and odd way. And as you can see, I'm not giving any spoilers with Joker smiling again. Well, why is the Joker smiling again? I thought he lost his sense of humor. This issue gives an answer to that, and I just love Tom King's imagination. Him and his art team. I mean, they have done some pretty fantastic work. Now, here we have, it opens with, these are the victims of people who have been killed in this war of jokes and riddles. And just the way they brought this to the forefront and explaining some of Batman's psychology. And as you can see, I don't know if you noticed, but this is definitely an early Batman because, in the Rebirth, he has a golden ring, or not a ring, I'm sorry, a golden trace around his Batman insignia, but he doesn't in these flashbacks, harkening more back to Frank Miller's Batman costume design. I wish that, and if Tom King decides to do another flashback story, I really hope that he does a Neil Adams Batman costume. Because I knew it was a little bit light, but that's where the inspiration for Batman the Animated Series came. So I think it would just be cool. I'm not saying it would have to be the whole story, but maybe just like one issue where he's wearing the Batman's retroactive design. So anyway, War of Jokes and Riddles, epic conclusion. Definitely get the graphic novel when it comes out. Okay, now what we're really here to talk about, and that is the Dark Knights Metal issue number 3. Once again, Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo, they're bringing this story. So just a little bit of a recap. The casting in The Forge, which was 2 one-shot prequels to the series, they imply that something is coming. But what is it? And it turns out, we all know the new 52 universe, it still exists in the DC Rebirth, but it's a little bit, it's different, obviously. They made the superheroes younger. They had someone who's implied to be Dr. Manhattan from the Watchmen remove years of histories from the new 52 universe during the, what's it called? The Convergence storyline. So basically what happens is, it's revealed that there's a dark multiverse. So as opposed to the main New 52 universe, there's another multiverse where there's a whole bunch of evil. And the crazy thing about this is that the Batmans in this universe are evil. And so of course I reviewed Red Death and the Murder Machine, but Batman basically becomes dark mirrors of himself. So Metals continues. Superman tries to confront them, the evil Batman, and he's trying to convince them that they need to change. Here's the medal with all the tags and everything. He's trying to convince them that they need to change, or that they need to turn away from Barbatos, he's the evil Dark Batman. Now, they keep showing this mysterious, smiling Batman. He's had cameos in almost all of the Metals, and especially all the tie-ins. He's had a cameo. He's a dark, combination between Batman and the Joker. And at first, I thought maybe it was the Joker posing as Batman from whatever dark multiverse he's from, but in fact, that's not the case, because Superman uses X-ray vision to see him, and in fact, it's Bruce Wayne's heartbeat. And Superman even confirms that they all, as he's fighting them, they all have Batman's heartbeat. So they are all Batman in some way. Now, sadly, I have not read The Drowned yet. Don't hate me. I will. But Seeing this from Superman's perspective, and basically Superman actually has to be rescued because he's going to be killed by the Devastator Batman, but he's rescued by the Flash, and they go to a place that Dr. Fate has created. I almost said Doctor Strange. I know I would have gotten a lot of comments about that, but I saved myself. And Kendra Sanders is here. Now, Kendra Sanders, of course, is Hawkwoman, but she has yet to appear as Hawkwoman. So they find out that one of the weaknesses to these evil Batman and their crows instead of robins, they are is nth metal. So they have to find the nth metal, and so they're arguing over what they should do. Nightwing wants the Justice League to do like a Hail Mary all-out battle in Gotham City to destroy, because Gotham City is the 4 point of the dimensional rift. He wants to do like just an all-out assault. Let's Justice League, Teen Titans, let's charge into battle. Superman doesn't want to do that. He wants to save Batman, and so he decides that he is going to do this, while others go to find more nth metal. So Superman, Flash, and Steel, they decide to head into the Dark Multiverse to rescue Batman, and it has some very devastating consequences. Now, I'm curious how this is all going to tie in, because Doomsday Clock is going to start. Now, I am super excited. I'm not a Watchmen fan. Personally, I think Alan Moore is a little overrated. Direct all your comments to the comment section. But I am excited about this, because I would love to see Batman fight Rorschach, or maybe the Comedian, or maybe Owlman. And I am excited about Doomsday Clock, despite my hesitation over the Watchmen. But it's going to be, I think that's going to be an epic showdown. So there can only be like 1 or 2 more of these issues. I don't, because Superman's occupied here, but they have an ad for the Doomsday Clock here, and you see, I'm guessing that's going to be that's going to be the cover for Doomsday Clock issue 1. So this is going to end really soon. It has to, because you can't go from Metals to Doomsday Clock without some sort of tie-in. So I imagine either issue 4 of Metal or issue 5 will somehow tie into that. So anyway, definitely pick up this issue. It's one of Scott Snyder's absolute best. Okay, so I have kind of a quick review here. This is Gotham Resistance. It's a tie-in series to Metals, and it basically shows what the Suicide Squad, Green Arrow, Nightwing, and the Teen Titans are doing during the series, and they all kind of tie in together. I'm not a huge Green Arrow fan, but I did enjoy this series. It was very interesting, very entertaining. This series is okay. I think they could have done a better job. Basically, it's called the Gotham Resistance because the Teen Titans, the Suicide Squad, Nightwing, and Green Arrow, just kind of on their own, they infiltrate Gotham, which, like I said, is the focal point of the dimensional rift for the Dark Multiverse, infiltrating Earth Prime or Earth Zero, whatever it's called in the New 52 Convergence universe. So these superheroes, they're working together. Robin, as you'll find out in these issues, he wants to find his father because he's, Damian Wayne. So he basically is leading the Teen Titans into this charge. They're not really wanting to go. They want to mostly save innocent people. They're not really there to rescue Batman. They want to do this, and so this kind of puts him at odd ends, and so then he hooks up with Green Arrow and Nightwing, and they go through like all these different circles. Different Batman villains have taken over different parts of Gotham. So it's a good tie-in, I guess. I wasn't too impressed with Gotham Resistance, and I think that has to do with the fact each issue is written by that comic book's person, and I have no doubt that they exchange notes and whatnot. And I'm always up for comics being representing the artists and the creators who are involved. But this was just a little too confusing, just with everything that's going on in the Metal universe. It would have been better if they had done the War with the Yellow Lanterns thing, where the Justice League and the Teen Titans just kind of had a cameo, and it just focused more on the Green Lanterns. They probably should have done something like that with these, where I'm not saying they shouldn't have tied in, but maybe showed more of an outside influence what they were trying to pull. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, so moving right along, we are at the Dawnbreaker. This is a new tie-in, and he's one of the Dark Batman from the Dark Multiverse. So, if you're thinking that it's like this Elseworlds comic, you're wrong. So, for those of you who don't know, I'm going to have a little recap. There's an Elseworld called Batman and Darkest Night, where Bruce Wayne's parents are killed, like always, but instead of a bat crashing through his window, Abin Sur's Green Lantern Power Ring goes to him instead of Hal Jordan, and so Batman becomes the Green Lantern, and it's very interesting. It has like all this twist. Batman confronts Sinestro, and he's trying to find the man who killed his parents. All this drama happens, but in the end, he becomes like a really strong Green Lantern. Definitely pick up this. This issue, the Dawnbreaker, is kind of a mockery of that. I wouldn't say a mockery, but just a play on it, where it's a lot darker, a lot devious. So, basically, what happens is Abin Sur's Power Ring comes to him, instead of coming to him when he's having that fateful night, his first night out doesn't go well and he's bleeding out and the ring comes to him there. Instead, the Power Ring comes to him when the day his parents are killed. So he wants to kill Joe Chill, but he can't do it because the Green Lanterns have a rule where you're not allowed to use lethal weapon unless there's a war, which of course they changed that for the Sinestro War. They made it where they can just kill, and so, but his willpower overcomes and he kills Joe Chill. So this sends him on kind of a dark path, and as you can see here, he's killing Scarecrow. Here he brings the Penguin up into space. You can see an advertisement for Batman White Knight there. And it's really dark, it's really brooding, and his willpower becomes so great. Instead of bringing light, which that's the point of the Green Lanterns, they use will to bring light into the darkness. He uses the power of the Green Lanterns to bring darkness. And so he becomes Batman the Dawnbreaker because he actually succeeds in killing the Guardians who have come to stop him, and he absorbs the Green Lantern, all the Green Lantern's powers, not just one ring with one lantern. He absorbs all their powers. So in this one, he goes to he meets the Batman who smiles, who's creating like the Dark Batman Justice League, and goes to them. So he's now in Coast City and helping the attack that's happening in Metals. And Hal Jordan is trying to fight him, but Hal Jordan doesn't know how to fight a Green Lantern who brings darkness. So it's a very interesting twist. It's very probably one of the best of the tie-ins that I've read, explaining these Dark Batman. So again, I don't have, sadly, I don't have the Drowned yet. I'm going to work to get that, and I'm going to review that. But for now, definitely check out Batman the Dawnbreaker. It's one I highly recommend it. It's a very entertaining, interesting read. Okay, so now we have Batman the Devastator. Now, in this universe, Superman turns evil, and, well, I should say it opens with this Doomsday Batman fighting Lobo and making pretty short work of him, and then him going to Metropolis to take it. Now, it turns out, in this dark universe, you can see Batman there. Superman turns evil, and no one really knows why. You can see there Superman uses his laser to cut off Batman's arm. Batman is the last Justice Leaguer standing. And, of course, what happens is Batman realizes he can't fight Superman on his own strength. And they kind of poke fun at Batman v Superman. See Batman's got a kryptonite spear there. It's really not helping. So Batman does this contingency plan, and he merges his DNA with Doomsday's, because he knows Doomsday is the only creature to have killed Superman, and so he knows that's the only way he can stop him. So he turns him into Doomsday, and then he kills Superman in his universe. And so his universe, the Dark Multiverse, of course, is collapsing, and then he meets, of course, this mysterious smiling Batman, the Batman who smiles, and he recruits him for for their Dark Multiverse. And what he is doing is he's spreading this infection in Metropolis, where people, and this is Lois Lane here, she's getting infected with the Doomsday virus. So he actually succeeds in capturing Superman. As you can see, he's using Superman as some sort of battery. Now, this is a direct tie-in to Dark Metals 3, this conclusion. Now, don't worry, I didn't give any spoilers away. I just showed you some pretty pictures. And as you can... Oh, well, I guess I can show you this real quick. Doomsday clock is coming. It's a countdown. So, this one I really enjoyed. I thought it was a good twist, but to me, it kind of lacked the imagination that Red Death, Dawnbreaker, and the Murder Machine had. I think they could have, which I know they needed one of the Batmans to be able to fight Superman. Like I said, it's a direct tie into DC, into Dark Knight's Metal 3. And he is featured in the beginning of that one. So I know they kind of needed that, but it kind of lacked an imagination. I think I would have rather have seen a Batman who has Superman's powers as opposed to turning into Doomsday. Which I know why they did that. It's because Doomsday is the only person to have killed Superman, or almost killed Superman, so that's why they did it. But I think that I think they could have gone a different route. I mean, the artwork in it is really good, and everything, and I love these glossy covers. I just feel it. I feel like me getting my own superpowers. But anyway, I still recommend it, just not as highly as I do the other sets. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching today. I really appreciate all my subscribers. You are all amazing. Be sure to let everyone know about me. Tell your friends, hey, there's this really cool new YouTuber who reviews comic books and movies and books. And I know I've been doing a slew of comic books because of the Metals event, but don't worry, I'm going to do a whole lot more. I'm going to try to get more. I'm also going to try to branch out of DC and Marvel a little bit. I've got a whole bunch of stuff planned for everything. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to some of the new stuff. I'm hoping to do a new theme song by the time we're ready for season 2 of StudioJake. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Be sure to like and subscribe by pushing that button there, and share this video. Let me know what you thought in the comment section. Let me know if there's a comic book you would like me to review. I would love to check out anything. You know, I'm not really into horror and whatnot, but I'll check out any kind of science fiction or vigilante or superhero fiction, any kind of pulp stuff I'm into. So just let me know. Just let me know below what you would like me to read. Has that been crooked the whole time? Anyway. Be sure to find me on Twitter at RealJacobAiry. Find me on Instagram, real.jacob.airy. Facebook is author Jacob Airy, and of course subscribe to my blog where you can see more movie reviews, you can see articles that I write, and links to some other cool stuff. So thank you once again. We appreciate it, and I'll see you next week right here on Studio Jake.